A teen TikToker was killed outside a Southern California shopping mall. On January 18th, Siyah's family received tragic news. The Los Angeles Police Department says she was found unresponsive inside a car outside the Los Cerritos Center shopping mall. Like many teenagers, Siyah Turner posted fun videos of herself dancing around on social media.
They found her with a single gunshot wound to the chest, slumped over in the driver's seat of a vehicle in a mall parking lot. A panicked crowd gathered around an unconscious teenage girl, just shy of her 18th birthday. Emergency efforts breathed life into the young victim of the senseless crime, and as she left the scene, hope lingered that she might make it another day. Tragically, the doctors working tirelessly to save her pronounced her dead shortly after she arrived at the hospital. The shocking truth about this case is that, to this day, no one knows who pulled the trigger. The victim's name is Siyah Turner, and she wasn't an average teenager. Known by many as Siyah, she also happened to be a wildly popular TikTok creator. Only days leading up to this horrific incident, she had been filming TikToks, sharing joyous moments with friends, and planning for her future as a senior in high school preparing for graduation. However, dusk on June 18th, 2025 brought with it a tragic unfolding of events, and by that time she was nearing her final resting place, sitting unmoving behind a steering wheel. The rising star had over 500,000 followers at the time of her death, and those followers knew her as Siyah. Her admirers celebrated her smoothly choreographed dance routines, luminous presence, and joyful magnetic charm. Her videos often showcased family members, providing insights into her personal life, showcasing that she was also a daughter, friend, girlfriend, and student with high aspirations. To investigators at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office, she was the victim for which they had no answers, no suspect, no charges, and no public explanation. Only one fact is for certain: someone pulled that trigger. A single haunting question remains: who?
On January 18th, Siyah's family received tragic news. The Los Angeles Police Department says she was found unresponsive inside a car outside the Los Cerritos Center shopping mall.
Born on February 9th, 2007, with roots in Moreno Valley, California, Siyah's early photographs show her seeming to enter the world, a radiating ball of light. She was more than photogenic. She was naturally charming and captivating. Her bright, wide smile, brilliant eyes, and positive and outgoing demeanor were hard to ignore. By the time age 15 rolled around and others her age were still finding their voices, Siyah seemed to have confidently found her own. In what seemed like an effortless entry into TikTok stardom, she posted her very first video. It was a chic sequence compilation to a toe-tapping tune by Elijah Tatila. It was an instant hit that marked the rise of her skyrocketing social media endeavor. Siyah rapidly gained followers, connecting with them through impromptu skits at school, get-ready-with-me routines, and showing off dance routines. She created vulnerability-based content, really letting her followers into her day-to-day life. She developed a sense of intimacy with over 539,000 followers, providing a sense of access and easy closeness that became habitual. For many, she was more than someone her followers observed behind a screen. She was someone they knew on a personal level. Choreographically, Siyah was highly talented. Her dance moves resonated with her followers and young artists across TikTok. More than getting the steps just right, Siyah's moves were about emotional expression, joviality, and joyousness. Her boyfriend Dylan often became the subject of many of her posts. Siyah met Dylan at a basketball game and recounted this moment to her fans in detail in one of her videos. The piece is stitched together like a diary entry and details the start of a sweeping high school romance. But nothing is sweeter than all the evidence they have of their adorable relationship. Her content was perfectly simple. She didn't use professional lighting or polished sets. Her beauty was natural. Her laughter was genuine. It made it easy for people to place themselves in her shoes, and fans often said they returned to her page just to experience her radiating light through the screen. That light, once burning so brightly, was sadly extinguished, and far before its prime. Many think of the city of Cerritos as a safe haven, the last place to be home for murder. When the 911 call reached the sheriff's department, it sent shockwaves through what had been a routine Thursday evening, shattering the stillness of dusk and turning ordinary into unimaginable. This is the terrifying story of what happened to Siyah Turner the fateful night of January 18th, 2025. The caller reported that there was a shooting in the parking lot of the mall and that the victim was a teenage girl. She was slumped over the steering wheel of her car, breathless and unmoving. Witnesses in a panic would later recount the scene in fragments. Security footage would capture bits and pieces.
And you can see the shooters are getting in position for their planned out murder. And they are shooting Charles.
A nurse who happened to be nearby performed CPR for 10 minutes before paramedics arrived and rushed Siyah to the hospital. Authorities taped off the crime scene. She was later pronounced dead at the hospital, dying shortly after her arrival despite life-saving efforts. Investigators gathered statements from 4 young men and 1 teenage girl who had been reported to be in or near the vehicle when the shot was fired, witnessed screaming by a manager of a restaurant who had been nearby shortly following the incident. The 4 young men were detained for questioning but not arrested. It is this distinction and the silence that ensued that would unsettle an entire community. Stealing more than her life, the bullet that had ripped through Siyah's chest had disturbed the balance of Cerritos as a once peaceful place, and it did so with terrifying haste. The city, like her followers, asked the same quiet, echoing questions. How could this happen here? And who would do such a thing? The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department issued a short address verifying, excluding any identifiers other than the age of the victim, that there had been a fatal shooting. However, the internet quickly managed to put together the horrifying pieces before law enforcement released all the details. Siyah had been wearing an outfit from a video she had posted days earlier. They aligned the mall's location with tagged stories. Before the end of the night, her community gossiped with a sorrowful, accurate speculation that she might be the one in the vehicle. Her last video, a casual outdoor dancing TikTok, which she posted only 3 days preceding her death, is both a shrine testament to her life and talent as a creator. Comments are a mix of shock and appreciation. I keep refreshing hoping this isn't real. You made me feel seen. Thank you. How can someone so full of life just stop existing? Investigators on the case worked tirelessly. Many of her fans became amateur investigators, rifling through her past content and searching for any clues as to what may have happened. They found nothing. Coming up empty-handed, the official investigators released the 4 men who were discovered at the scene of the crime. As far as the public knows, no firearms have been recovered, with the official reasoning for it given as pending further investigation. The lead homicide investigator on the case, Lieutenant Steve DeJong of the Homicide Bureau, told the media, "As far as the context and investigation, I can't elaborate. This investigation is going to go on for a while." This statement only solidified the building uncertainty surrounding Siyah's mysterious, heartbreaking death. Questions have circulated like, if no one was fleeing the scene, who was the shooter? If no weapon was found, what was it fired from? If no motive was known, was it random or something far worse? While the scene at the mall would return to normal in the days that followed, Siyah's followers and those who knew her wouldn't move on so easily. Something significant had shifted and was forever changed. Siyah's classmates at Rancho Verde High put together a small tribute memorial in her honor with letters of mourning attached to her locker and lit candles next to her photos. They left flowers and shared reflective silence or words of kindness. Siyah began trending across TikTok and Instagram for the abrupt, painful, and inexplicable manner in which her life ended. The weekend following her death was a weekend unlike any other.
Is your heart still mine?
Her parents held each other during this emotional moment, grieving without words for their daughter so abruptly and violently taken from the world as any parents would. Despite all the mourning and condolences to the family, another statement shines through, pulsing beneath the surface. It flickers across social media in every number "Long Live Siyah" hashtag and in every comment that reads, "Rest in peace." That statement is, "We still want answers." As time passed, something beautiful happened. Nasiyah's online presence grew and her videos became even more viral. Old ones came to life again. Followers reshared posts of younger Nasiyah dancing, laughing, and speaking candidly on their timelines. Loyal fans would revisit her profile just to see her familiar smile, listen to her voice, and anchor themselves to what little remained of someone who had once felt so close. Thousands of new fans would subscribe to pay their respects. Her account became more than a place for entertainment. It became a sanctuary, a place for people to go to honor her name. The immense sorrow left in the wake of Nasiyah's passing froze her in time. To many of her followers, her story was unfinished. At only 17, she would remain forever radiant, crystallized in time. Her story has a violent, premature ending that no one accepts. It remains unfinished without an answer. As each month goes by, the chasm of silence deepens. Law enforcement's response remains the same. No charges with an active case. They say that they are pursuing leads and that they are reviewing evidence, but so far, they have come up empty-handed, and time feels as though it is frozen to those paying attention. Updates are few, vague, and far between, and the lack of solid answers has left Nasiyah's loyal followers, friends, and family restless and uneasy. All that has been released as of now by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is that multiple individuals were detained at the scene, questioned, and then discharged without arrest. In what would have, according to Lieutenant de Jong, compromised the integrity of the ongoing case, investigators chose not to release extraneous details to the public. All they have shared is that there are no suspects and no retrieved weapons, and there has been only the briefest of press releases. Whether the shooting was intentional or accidental remains up in the air, and the silence surrounding the case has cultivated exasperation from both the public and those closest to Nasiyah, stuck between feelings of anguish and powerlessness. The wound from her loss seems to only worsen without the transparency of findings, and peace cannot be brought without resolution. The questions continue to crescendo, not with outrage, but with a growing, unyielding sting of not knowing. In the comments and captions of tribute dances, the threads that stretch into the thousands, it has evolved beyond more than who killed her, and moved into, why haven't we been told more? Some people believe the investigators and those closest to her already know the truth and that they have buried it. Others are confident that it remains a mystery. Some speculate that it was a misfired gun, a tragic accident. Some are confident that an individual fired a shot with malice, intentionally. There was an argument, they reason, and the argument went way too far. There could have been a cover-up with someone being protected, some wondered, figuring that some people's loyalty knows no bounds. Every theory brings forth the same underlying fear. What if what happened in that car will never be fully understood? These theories circulated with intensity, and part of the reason may be because her fan base has no information to hold on to. These theories have only one commonality. They function off the premise that Nasiyah is gone, and there are little facts to go off because authorities have released little to no information about the last moments of her life. Even though the city of Cerritos may have moved forward, those closest to Nasiyah, including her followers, desperately seek closure. Those who read the news saw her name as a headline, and her death was an anomaly in a quiet city. It was one shooting, and she was one victim with a tragic story. To those who followed her, though, she was way more than a tragedy. She was a bright light, a source of warmth and comfort, and a creative inspirer. with moves to impress and a smile to sweep anyone off their feet. It was no surprise that hundreds of thousands of people tuned in to Siyah. She was loved by many as a creator, daughter, friend, student, girlfriend, and dreamer. And she was real. Her voice matters, and it still does. Justice is searching for the individual behind the gun that killed Siyah Turner. It's only a matter of when it will find them, because so many people are paying attention, waiting for the facts and asking questions. Without a clear suspect, motive, or sequence of events provided to the public, the single heaviest unanswered question is, who killed Siyah Turner? As one of Siyah's followers shared, "You didn't deserve this. We haven't forgotten. And we won't." Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more cases like this. And if you're ready for another gripping story, check out the next video below.